on, everyone? This your boy Tanveer Syed, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as all your support really helps this legally blind YouTube content creator to remain motivated to continue making a lot of different type of videos in this channel, and through the YouTube's algorithm would really help this channel grow. I don't know how I overlooked this topic, but Metal Gear Solid 3 is getting a supposed remake. I believe it's called Metal Gear Solid Delta. So, given that, if you must know, Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, and especially on the PlayStation 2. I mean, if you really must know, I might rank it right after the God of War games, uh, Metal Gear Solid 3 as perhaps the best game on the PlayStation 2. Given that this game is getting a remake, I thought I would give my 2 cents on what I would like to see in this game when it is being remade and the little concerns that I have. Let us first begin with the concerns.
I give my life not for honor.
One, I heard that Konami will make most use of the already recorded voice lines, indicating that this game will see a big improvement when it comes to gameplay. But when it comes to the cutscenes that have voice acting and the codec conversations that have voice acting, I don't think we are going to get that much of a difference. So it's basically going to be the same dialogue over a shiny paint job, which is very discouraging. Konami have a golden opportunity to recast some of the people other than Naked Snake and give them the ball to run with these remade characters. Okay? And this will help those up and coming voice actors and actresses enhance their own career. Okay? Metal Gear Solid 3 has some of the best voice acting that you can find on a PlayStation 2 game. And if you want to use established names, all right, I think his name is Adam Hamilton. I think Adam Hamilton, the guy who voiced Sindri, can play a very good young Revolver Ocelot. I think Laura Bailey, the great Laura Bailey, can play a very good Eva. I think Danielle Bisuri, the woman who voiced Freya in God of War, can play a very good boss. This is the biggest concern for me, actually. Will we get an updated remaster instead of a full fledged remake? Number two, the overall quality of the game. Now, if this game is actually an updated remaster instead of a full fledged remake, then I think this game and Konami will not take full advantage of the computing power of the next gen consoles, PS5, Xbox Series XS, whatever, okay, and PC as well. Konami needs to make Metal Gear Solid 3 perform and deliver. People are not very happy with Konami, by the way. Firstly, because of the Silent Hill 2 remake fiasco, on top of the entire disaster that was Metal Gear Survive. People have not forgotten about Metal Gear Survive, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let us move on to what I want to see in Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, Snake Eater.
In my time, there'll be no.
The first thing I want to see, ladies and gentlemen, say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Accessibility. I want Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta to be made in a way where a legally blind person like myself can actually buy and play the game. However, I predict that this is going to be a challenge because, unlike The Last of Us Part 2, Metal Gear Solid 3 depends more heavily on stealth elements and on camouflage. Map markers will also be very helpful. I'm not too sure about a skip puzzle button because I don't recall the original Metal Gear Solid 3 having that many complicated puzzles. Number two, better and more visible button prompts for CQC sequences, especially with the final boss. Because I remember I kept tapping the circle button. I could never get anything done when the boss grabbed me for a CQC sequence. Okay, I think having better button prompts at the right time can make that final battle much more enjoyable. And also, Konami, please, if you're going to put accessibility, please make this final boss more accessibly visible for people with low vision. You will not believe how many times I had to switch in and out of the AP sensor just to make sure where the boss exactly is. Number three, a diverse array of weapons. All right, guys, maybe I'm the only guy that views this as a problem, as a redundant problem. Okay, for me, yeah, the M60, the XM16E1 or whatever, okay, to an extent, the Patriot and the Scorpion, these were all the same weapon, just with slightly varying fire rates and reload rates. Okay, guys, you don't need 50 type of automatic assault rifles and automatic weapons, whereas I believe you only had one shotgun. I believe the SP12. You know, that's your standard video game shotgun, the SP12. Okay, could we get a few more different types of shotguns, long distance rifles? I mean, even the rifles, you had, I believe, two. Yeah, you had the Mosin Nagant, okay, and you had the SVD sniper rifle. Okay, I'm like, can you at least allow for modding or something? I know it kind of won't make any sense, but at least in the Grozny Grad level, okay, where you have a lot of soldiers, okay, where you have a research facility, so it would make a little bit more sense to have some type of weapon modding capabilities. Number four, no political correct messaging. Please, Konami, please, no forced DEI. Please, no forced DEI. Not in Metal Gear Solid 3, man. Not in MGS3. Number five, more efficient cutscenes. Maybe this is just me, but I think some of the cutscenes, especially when they talked about the history after the First and the Second World War, went on a bit too long, just a little bit. And at sometimes it made no sense. Like, when Colonel Volgin, right, he goes to kill you for killing Ivan and whatnot, stealing the C4, he stops there and gives you a lecture. And then after the lecture, tells you where the microfilm is, the philosopher's legacy. That researcher, Grannon, he also gives you a lecture. I think Eva at one point gives you a lecture. I think even the boss at one point gives you a lecture. I'm like, wait, hey, I thought your mission is to be killed by Snake. I'm like, okay, yeah, you had to let out all that was in your heart before you end your life or before your life was ended. I understand that. But a little bit more organically, please. Okay. Maybe at that final walk to the boss's battle location with all that white flowers or whatnot, right? Maybe that time the boss reestablishes radio contact with you and just gives you bits and pieces of her side of the story. Kind of like The Last of Us Part 1, where on your way to the operation theater where Ellie is being held, Joel comes across all those audio tapes. And this is why I still maintain The Last of Us Part 1 would have been better if you had an alternate ending where Joel hands over Ellie to Marlene and basically performs self deletion. It would have been a better story that way. And with that alternate ending, they actually are able to find a cure. Because remember, at least in the main game, there was no such thing as, there are several people who are resistant to the virus or to the fungus. This is something that was introduced close to The Last of Us Part 2, not in the vanilla release of The Last of Us Part 1. So, something similar to that, build up the final battle a bit more. And finally, just to reiterate my concern, and this is also something I want to see, good voice acting. Okay. Metal Gear Solid 3 is a very revered legacy product, which is getting a remake. All right. And if done right, whoever does a stellar performance with this voice acting will significantly have their careers boosted and enhanced. Okay. I am very sure of it. Okay. If they manage things right, this will be one of their greatest achievements. They voiced someone great in Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater. Those are my thoughts on what I would like to see and a few of my concerns regarding Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. I cannot wait for this game to come out. And if I have a PS5 at that moment, and also I see and determine that Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta is accessible, I will buy the game. Maybe if the game is not accessible, I might still at least rent the game and try it out for myself. Those are my thoughts. I would love to learn your thoughts. What are your concerns about the game? What do you want to see in Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta? Please put it in the comment section below. And as always, hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons. This is your boy Tanveer Sai, the Bengal Dragon, signing out.
Snake